All right, everyone, get in here, sit down, and shut up. We've got stuff to talk about. And that stuff to talk about is week 2 is in the books. We finished 12-4 again. That's 2 straight weeks. 12-4. That's 24-8 on the season. That's pretty good. I wanted to start this video with that information because if you're just joining us, come on, 24-8. I don't think there's going to be many people who've gotten that many money lines correct this season compared to me. And I tell you, I'm 19-13 on the season for the spread, which is pretty solid. 10-6 last week. Hopefully we'll continue to get a little bit better on that one as well. Not too bad last week. I was pretty happy with it. But I do want to say, if your team is 0-2, because my team is 0-2, please leave a comment down below and tell me it's going to be okay, because there's always next season. We can all see the stats that I think was like 11% of teams have made the playoffs when they started 0-2. But let's not fool ourselves. It's not going to be us this year, is it? But there's always next year. So comment down below and tell me there's always next season. This is week 3, and this is what matters. Next season does not matter yet. So let's go ahead and figure out who's going to win each and every one of these games. Now, I do want to start this and try not to repeat myself a billion times because I know I'll feel like it while I'm telling you who's going to win. But I did pick moneyline spread pretty close. Like most of these games, whoever I pick for the money line, I like against the spread, mostly because a lot of these spreads are very close. Like I'm seeing a lot of 3.5 point spreads or just 1.5 point spreads, and I'm like, why would I not just take it? I'm already feeling like they're winning the game. Let's go ahead and just take them against the spread as well. It just makes sense to me. So just forewarning, that is how it's looking this week, but you'll find that out as you watch the video. So let's get right into it. Who's playing in the first game of the week, the Thursday night game? Oh, that's right. It's my Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo to take on the Buffalo Bills. And oh boy, 11.5 point favorite Buffalo Bills. I'm going to be honest with you. I was a fool for taking the Dolphins last week. I will never take the Dolphins to win another football game for as long as I live. I've learned from my mistake. The Bills will win this game, and they will cover that spread because I'm pretty sure they might just put up 80 points on us. I mean, it's not looking good. Dolphins, the only team in the league does allow 30 points in both the first 2 games. Buffalo Bills, they know how to score points. This is not going to be good for the Dolphins. I'm glad I'm getting this week over with early so I can focus on Sunday and not have my hopes shattered, during all that. So nice to get this one out of the way. Bills against the money line, Bills against the spread. Next up, we have the Falcons heading to Carolina to take on the Panthers. I don't like either 2 of these teams. I think they're both bad football teams, but I think the Panthers are worse. Good job by the Falcons, though. I thought the Vikings might be a little bit better than what they look like, but Falcons just ran the ball down their throat, and the Vikings had nothing to do about it. So I think the Falcons will continue to do that until they can't do it. I think they will definitely do it against the Panthers. I have them winning this on the money line easy, and it's a 6-point spread. I don't see why they don't cover that. The Panthers are nowhere near as good as the Vikings, and I'm pretty sure the Falcons beat the Vikings by more than 7 points. So I can see that the Falcons cover this one as well. Next up, we have the Bengals heading to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Both these teams already down their starting quarterback. Burrow's out for like 3 months. McCarthy's out for at least a week. Probably shouldn't even played last week. I mean, it was like 3 days after his kid was born. Probably should have just taken the day off, gone and stay with his family. But he went and played anyway and had one of the worst games of a quarterback I've ever seen. I think I saw a tweet that said if he had spiked the ball every single one of his pass attempts instead of do whatever he did with those other pass attempts, he would have had a higher quarterback rating. That is bad. Anyway, Vikings, I believe, will start Carson Wentz. Bengals start Browning. I'm taking the Bengals here. They're actually the underdog here by 3 points. I think the Bengals win. So I'm obviously going to take them against the spread as well. Makes sense. But I just think the Bengals have a bit more weapons on offense. So that's my reasoning for that. But I can certainly see this being wrong because when you start 2 backup quarterbacks, who knows what's going to happen. Next, we have the Packers heading to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Packers look great this season. Browns look like the Browns this season. So it's pretty simple here. I believe the Packers will win this game. The spread, 7.5 points. The Packers are favorites, of course. I mean, you see that and you want to take the Browns because it's more than a touchdown, right? But I think the Packers win by more than a touchdown. Pretty simple. I wouldn't be surprised if it's at least 14 points or more. Packers are on a roll. The Browns are just browning it up. So I just can't see me taking the Browns here for either. So Packers money line, Packers spread. Up next, we have Houston going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. I don't believe I'm taking the Texans again until I see a pregame warm-up of C.J. Stroud not shooting a basketball for whatever reason. He plays football. He does not play basketball. That basketball does not belong on a football field. I think it's dumb. So therefore, I think the Texans are dumb. And I'm just going to stick with the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Honestly, the Texans look like a mess. Don't know what happened. Don't know if it's C.J. Stroud. Don't know if it's play calling. I don't really care. The Texans look like a mess. I believe the Buccaneers had that whole game in control. Even when they went down late in the fourth quarter, the Buccaneers, I'm pretty sure, let the Texans score that touchdown so they get the ball back and then march down their throats and then win the game. So Jacksonville just seems like a good pick. Jacksonville only a 1.5 favorite here at home. So I feel like, again, if they're going to win, obviously that's pretty simple to cover. So I'm going to take the Jaguars money line and the Jaguars on the spread. Next up, we have the Colts heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. And I'll tell you, I don't want to take the Colts here. I really don't, because I think of all the 2-0 teams, the Colts are the faux 2-0, if you would. I don't believe they're as good as their record. I don't think they're bad. I think they've got good pieces and good places that they will likely be one of those in the hunt teams when it comes time for the end of the season. But I just don't think they're a good team. However, it's tough to take the Titans when they have that rookie quarterback who does look pretty good. Can't lie, Cam Ward, for everything I do see of him, it seems to be pretty favorable for him. But rookie quarterback against a team that seems to be clicking on all cylinders, I don't see why I don't see how I can't take the Colts. I don't think this game will be close. I say not close. The spread is the Colts are 3.5-point favorites. I don't think it'll be that close. I think the Colts win by a little bit more than that. So I'm going to take the Colts on the money line and the Colts on the spread. Next up, we have the Raiders heading to Washington to take on the Commanders. Now, I think both these teams are solid. I think the Commanders are probably a bit better. I don't like the Raiders that much, but I don't think the Raiders are as bad as the Chargers made them look on Monday Night Football. But Commanders at home, 3.5-point favorites. I don't know. I like the Commanders here for both money line and spread. Just feel like maybe Daniels is due for just a crazy game. I think Daniels probably the real deal there a bit. And the Raiders, I don't know. They let not saying that Herbert isn't a good quarterback, but I think that could be their Achilles heel, is just a good quarterback. So we'll go ahead and take the Commanders here on the money line and the Commanders on the spread. Next up, we have the Rams going to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Battle of undefeated teams. The Rams. I would like to think that the Rams beat the Eagles because I'm really getting sick and tired of the Eagles. I'm over them. I just don't like how they play football. It just drives me crazy, but I guess if it's how you win, it's how you win. That's all that matters. They do it well. Eagles at home, they're only 3.5-point favorites. I don't think I like the Rams enough to not take the Eagles here on the money line and Eagles on the spread. The Eagles just, defending Super Bowl champions who seem to be clicking already, just go ahead and take them. Just roll with them until they prove you wrong otherwise. So, Eagles on the money line, Eagles on the spread. Next game up, we've got the Jets heading to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. I do think the Buccaneers are a good team, 2-0. I don't know if they'll, they're not like a top tier, top echelon or whatever team. The Jets definitely a bottom dweller though. Now, I ultimately think the Buccaneers thrive on the aura of Baker Mayfield. I think he's not quite top 10 to me, maybe not even quite top 15. He's right around there. Any given Sunday, he's top 10 or top 15. Overall, I think probably not. I could probably name 15 quarterbacks that I would rather have on my team than him. But the energy he brings is infectious and gets that team rolling. Now, I do think this might be a close game. I feel like the Buccaneers are going to be that team that's just in close games all year long. The Jets are 6.5-point underdogs, so I'm going to take the Buccaneers here on the money line, and here I will finally go against the money line, and I will take the Jets on the spread. Give them 6.5 points. I can see the Buccaneers winning with a late minute touchdown, or not touchdown, but a last minute field goal or something like that. Probably be a close game. Probably all Buccaneer games will be close games. But that's how I'm feeling on that one. All right, next we have the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to the New England Patriots Stadium to play a game of football. Now, don't you just miss? I just feel like this was for 10 or 15 years, the Steelers and the Patriots. You just could not wait. This was a Sunday night football game every year, every season. You were going to see this on Sunday night or Monday night, prime time, and it was just going to be an absolute slobber knocker. But it's not quite there anymore. Now, Steelers 1-1, Patriots 1-1. I think the Patriots got lucky and played a really awful team week 2. I don't think they're good enough to beat the Steelers, who are just a solid team. Steelers are 1.5-point favorite away from home, so give me the Steelers money line. Give me the Steelers against the spread. I don't see why. I don't think they win the game by 1 point. I think they will likely win by more than that. Obviously, that's why I'm taking them against the spread. But Steelers, I think, will outclass the Patriots here. But Patriots are going to be good soon. So if you don't like the Patriots like I do, go ahead and get ready. They're going to be good soon. Broncos head to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. I don't care. The Chargers are one of the best teams in the NFL. Probably a top 5 team, easy. Maybe even higher than that. Chargers will win this game. They will cover the spread, which is only 2.5 points. I can't believe what do the Chargers have to do to get a proper they were underdogs against the Chiefs and beat them by 7 or something like that. I think the spread against the Raiders was 3, and Anyway, kind of crazy. Chargers are a good football team, and Vegas for whatever reason doesn't think so yet. Don't know what they're watching. The Khalil Mack injury, I don't know how long that'll be. It looks like he's probably going to be out a while. I don't know if it was for their sake, I didn't see what it was. I saw the injury, but I don't know what they diagnosed it as. Looked like maybe a dislocated elbow or something, which I imagine he comes back from pretty soon because he's just an absolute animal. But Chargers win this game. They're at home, and they'll cover that spread. I don't know how it's only 2.5 points. That's just crazy to me. Next up, we have the Saints heading to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Saints are a bad football team. It is plain and simple. The spread here, 7.5 points. Seahawks at home, coming off a pretty big win against the Steelers, which really surprised me. Maybe the Seahawks are better than people think they are, because I think the Steelers are a good football. The Steelers are always a good football team, right? You beat the Steelers, it means you're probably a playoff team. If you beat the Steelers, you're probably a playoff team. Let's just put it that way. So I think this is the first one where the spread was pretty big, and I'm I guess technically the Buffalo Bills spread was pretty large, but completely different animal. They're playing an awful team. But so are the Seahawks. So I'm going to go ahead and take Seahawks here on the money line, and I think they cover that spread, 7.5 points. Probably put it on the Saints. I just don't think the Saints are a good football team. All right, next up we have the Cardinals heading to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, who are 1.5 point favorites. I like the 49ers here on the money line because I don't know. The Cardinals, to me, are a team that's going to beat bad teams just because they've got the weapons for it. But I don't think they're going to beat well-built teams, which I think the 49ers are, although they are kind of falling apart with their injuries. But I like the 49ers here at home. I think they cover the spread as well. It's only 1.5 points. Maybe the Cardinals, keep it close, or maybe even the Cardinals win. I could certainly see the Cardinals winning this just to spite me. But I like the 49ers right now, week 3, more than I like the Cardinals. So that's what we're going. 49ers money line, 49ers spread. Next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys heading to Chicago to take on the Bears. The Bears are 0-2, and I think they are one of probably the bottom 5 teams in the NFL down there, along with the Dolphins and the Jets and the Saints and whatnot. I think the Cowboys, while they will do their best to keep this game as close as humanly possible, because that's just what the Cowboys do, they are the underdog by 1 point, and I think they're going to win. So therefore, I think they win against the spread as well. So pretty simple here. Cowboys money line, Cowboys spread. Sunday night game has the Kansas City Chiefs head to New York to take on the Giants to get their first win of the season. Pretty simple here. They're only 6-point underdogs. I do not get that. The Giants will not play them as tough as they played the Cowboys. The Chiefs will get their first win of the season and probably make a statement. They're on prime time. So you're going to get this. There's a few definites here for Chiefs on prime time. They're going to get every single flag, every single time that they get a chance to show Taylor Swift on camera. They're going to do it. So you're going to get to enjoy that. And they'll be damned if they're going to let them go 0-3 in front of all the Swifties, who are obviously going to be watching because Taylor Swift's going to be there. Obviously, it's prime time. Got to have her on. So it's pretty simple here. The Chiefs will probably win in a huge blowout, get their first win. I honestly cannot believe it's only 6 points. That's really crazy, but this is pretty easy to me. Chiefs win money line. Chiefs win against the spread. All right, final game of the week is a big one. I cannot wait to watch this game. This to me is potentially a Super Bowl preview. I'm sure somebody will say it somewhere. But the Detroit Lions going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Both teams 1-1, and honestly, both of their losses I feel like could have been games. The Lions didn't seem too good against the Packers, but I feel like those division games could go either way each time. So I don't really count that as a true loss necessarily. And the Ravens, I mean, gosh, they were up like, what, 2 scores, 3 scores, or whatever it was against the Bills there and just blew it. I think, you know, if that game was in January, the Ravens don't blow that lead. So these two teams are going to be in the playoffs, and this game is going to be an important one to watch. Now, I have the Ravens winning. They are 4.5-point favorites. I think it's a close game. I think Monday night, I think these two teams are going to come out there knowing what this game means and not wanting to show their hands necessarily, you know. And I think it just ends up being a close game. I think they go blow for blow with each other. You're going to see a lot of offense in this one's my guess. But I've got the Baltimore Ravens winning the game, and I've got the Lions covering that 4.5-point spread. Probably just a field goal game here. Ravens probably win with a late field goal or something like that. All right, those are my picks for the week. Thank you so much for watching. If I picked your team to win, give the video a like because you agree with me. If I picked your team to lose, leave a comment down below and tell me what kind of an idiot I am so I can respond to you and tell you that I'm sorry. It's just the way it's going to be. 24-8 on the season, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. That's against the money line. 19-13 against the spread. Both of those are pretty solid in my opinion. I challenge you to show me anybody who's much, much better than that. That's got to be up there with the best of the best, because I am the best of the best, I think. And therefore, you want to subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss week 4 when it gets out, so you can get these picks right away and see who's going to win and know all of what's going to happen on Sunday before we actually have to visit Sunday as it is. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.